Hey guys, welcome to the new video wherein we'll be talking about Goldman Sachs numerical computations question and answer. So numerical computation is actually an internal part of quants in Goldman, right? In Goldman, in aptitude, you actually have numerical computations and then numerical reasoning as well, right? So both are a part of quants, right? So in this particular video we'll see how the numerical computation questions are and how they actually look like, and what are the type of questions that you can expect from this particular section of quants in Goldman, right? So guys, before we start with solving the questions for you, top 3 comments on this video to get free access to newly launched Prep Insta Prime. So make sure you keep commenting on the video to get your Prep Insta Prime subscription for free. Apart from that, guys, a lot of companies would be hiring soon, and we'll update all such updates on our social media handles, that is Instagram, Discord, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Telegram. So make sure you are a part of all of them to never miss out on any important opportunity related to placements. Okay. So, guys, here's the first question on your screen, a question from Time and World. So, guys, in this particular video, we have very interesting questions from almost all the topics that could be asked, some important short tricks, some important shortcuts, and some of very unique questions till the end of the session. So make sure you're watching the video till the end and you're having a pen and paper and solving it right away with me, right? Because you never know, you might expect a question or two, similar looking question or two in your exam, which could be very soon, right? So make sure you are following and you are practicing side by side. So the question is, when they work alone, Y needs 25% more time to finish a job than X does. They too finish the job in 26 days in the following manner. X works alone till half the job is done, and X and Y work together for 8 days, and finally Y works alone to complete the remaining 5% of the job. In how many days can Y alone finish the entire job? That's the question for you. I would suggest you to pause the video here and start solving this problem on your own. Okay guys, so it says when they work alone, Y needs 25% more time to finish the job than X does. Let us say X and Y. Y takes 25% more time to finish. So if I say, let's say X completes the work in 100 A days, Y would be completing it in, so Y takes 25% more time, so Y would be completing it in 125 A days, the entire work, which I can further simplify down. So let us divide it by 25. So 5 times and 4 times. So I can say X can complete the work in 4A days, wherein Y can complete the work in 5A days. So we are done till here. They too finished the job in 26 days in the following manner. So they took totally 26 days to complete the work, and they worked in the following manner, which is given to us. X works alone till half the job is done, right? So how many days will X take to complete half the job, guys? So what I'm doing is I am actually calculating the total 26 days from here. X works alone till half the job is done. Half the job is done. So X can complete half the job in half into 4 days. So this many days he'll take initially. And then Y and X work together for 8 days. They work together for 8 days. And then finally Y works alone to complete the remaining 5% of the job. What is 5% of the job? 5 by 100 into 5A, because Y can complete the entire work in 5 days, so he or she will be completing 5% of the job in 5 by 100 into 5 days, and this total is equal to 26 because they completed this entire job in 26 days working in this following manner. Let us simplify that down then. Which I can further write it as, so 8, I'll move it here. So let's say that is 18, 40 A plus 5A upon 20, which is 45 A is equal to 18 into 20. A is equal to 18 into 20 divided by 45, right? Okay, let's divide it by 5. So 9 5s are 45, 5 4s are 22. So A is nothing but 8. If A is 8, the question is how many days can Y alone finish the entire job? So Y takes 5 days to complete the entire job. So 5A is basically 5 into 8, which is 40. The answer is option number B, 40 days. Yes, I hope you got the question, guys. If you still have any doubts in any of the questions, make sure you comment it down in the comment section for sure. Okay, so moving on to the next question then. It says, a cunning shopkeeper sells a combo of pencils packet at rupees 80 each and earns 33 1/3% profit. Each of the combo of pencils packet contains of 5 pencils. The shopkeeper adds pencils of 2 different qualities. The good quality pencil cost rupees 15 and the cheaper ones cost rupees 10 each. What is the ratio of the number of pencils of each quality in the combo packet? Right? Interesting question from Profit and Loss. You guys can definitely pause the video now and start doing this on your own. Okay, it says a cunning shopkeeper sells a combo of pencils packet at rupees 80 each. Right? Sells it at rupees 80 each. What does that mean, guys? Rupees 80 each. So the selling price is what? 80. What is the profit? 33 1/3%. What is 33 1/3%, guys? In terms of ratio, I can write the profit is 1/3 of the cost price, because that is what 33 1/3% means, right? 33 1/3% is actually 1/3 of the cost price. So then what would be the cost price, guys? What would be the cost price? Let us say the selling price is then, what would be the selling price? Let's say if this is the profit, what would be the selling price? Let's say cost price is 1, so 1 plus 1/3. So the selling price is 4/3. If the selling price is 4/3, what is cost price? 80 into the opposite of it, that is 4/3, which is nothing but 60. This is my way of finding CP and SP. You can use your basic formula. So if you know the SP is 80, the profit is 1/3 or 33 1/3%, you can also find your cost price by your own way and you'll also get that to be 60. Right? Okay. So we are done till here. So we got the cost price, that is 60 rupees. In a packet of pencils or a combo of pencils, there are 5 pencils. So I can say 5 pencils, CP is what? 60 rupees. Right? These 5 pencils are of 2 types, rupees 10 and rupees 15. Some is of rupees 10, some are of rupees 15. Can you guys tell me the mean price of all the 5 pencils? 5 pencils is for rupees 60, right? So 60 divided by 5 is 12. This is the average price or the mean price of the pencils. You are supposed to find the ratio in which they are mixed. So this has now converted into a question of mixtures and alligation, guys. How? I hope you know the butterfly method of solving mixtures and alligation. The mean price is 12. The cheaper quantity is 10 rupees. The dearer quantity is 15 rupees. So this is D minus M, M minus C. This is 3, this is 2. So what is the ratio? So this ratio is for rupees 10 pencil is to rupees 15 pencil. I hope you guys are getting the solution right. See, 5 pencils, the cost price was 60, the average mean price was 12, sorry. And we know that this came from a mixture of 2 types of pencil, which is rupees 15 per pencil and rupees 10 per pencil. So that is where we use mixtures and alligation to find the price. So the ratio is 3:2. So 3 is for rupees 10 pencil, so that would be 30, and 15 into 2 is again 30. So 30 plus 30 would be 60, the cost price. Right? Here guys, if the options, this is how the options were given. If the options were given 2:3, that would have been a better option and I would have marked 2:3. Because here I got the ratio of 10 and 15 rupees pencil. In the question they gave the good quality pencil cost 15 and the cheaper one cost 10, and then they asked you the ratio. So your ratio should be rupees 15 first and rupees 10 later. So that would be 2:3. But here the option is 3:2, so that means they are not caring about that fact here. Okay, moving on to the next question, which is a very simple question from clocks. What is the angle between the hour hand and the minute hand at 16:35? You guys can pause the video. Straight formula based question. I hope you'd be able to solve this one at least. Right? Okay guys, so what is the formula to find angle between the hands of a clock? That's the formula. The time is 16:35. This is 24-hour format, right? So what is this in 12-hour format? This is basically 4:35 or 35 minutes past 4. So what is H here? H is 4, M is 35. Just substitute in the formula and get your answer. What would be that? Because this is mod, so definitely this would be 72.5. So 72.5 degrees the angle between the hands of a clock when the time is 4:35. Got that? This was an easier question, right? Straight formula based question. Okay, moving on to another interesting question, which says Darpan Darpan ordered 4 Arrow shirts and some additional Park Avenue shirts. The price of each Arrow shirt was twice that of one Park Avenue shirt. When the order was executed, it was found that the number of 2 brands had been interchanged. This increased the bill by 40%. The ratio of the number of Arrow shirts to the number of Park Avenue shirts in the original order was. So very interesting question here. You guys should definitely pause this and start solving this on your own. All right, guys. So it says Darpan ordered 4 Arrow shirts and some additional Park Avenue shirts. So let's say Arrow and Park Avenue. I'll write PA. He ordered 4 Arrow shirts and let's say he ordered P Park Avenue shirts. P amount of Park Avenue shirts. The price of one Arrow shirt was twice that of one Park Avenue shirt. Let us say the price of each of the Park Avenue shirt is rupees X. So what would be the price for the Arrow shirt? Rupees 2x per shirt, because the price for Arrow shirt was twice that of the Park Avenue shirt. So when the order was executed, it was found that the number of, so what is the total cost here guys? The bill here. If he's buying 4 shirts at 2x and he's buying P shirts at rupees X, what is the total cost or bill? 4 into 2x for Arrow shirts plus P Arrow shirts at X, which is nothing but 8x plus px. This was the initial bill. I hope you agree. Okay. Now, when the order was executed, it was found that the number of 2 brands had been interchanged. So what now happened was, in the second case, what happened was for Arrow and Park Avenue, the prices are still the same, 2x and x. But there were P number of Arrow shirts now and 4 number of Park Avenue shirts now. The number got interchanged. So what would be the bill now? 2x into P plus 4x, which is, let's take 2 common from here, px plus 2x. And guys, by doing this, the bill increased by 40%. So I can say that this 2 is equal to 140% of 1. Yes. So I can say that 2 into px plus 2x is equal to 140 by 100 of 8x plus px. Yes, 2 gone, so this would be 7. So 10. So guys, I can also eliminate x from all of them, right? X, 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 x. 10p plus 20 is equal to 8 plus p, which gives me sorry, my bad guys, 7 is here, right? So this would be 56 plus 7p. So that gives me 3p is equal to 36. So that means p is equal to 20. The question is the number of arrow shirts to the number of Park Avenue shirts. So number of arrow shirts is 4 to number of Park Avenue shirts is p. P is 12. So what is the ratio? 1:3. Your answer is option number B, 1:3. I hope you got that. Yes? Okay. A very interesting question from logarithms, guys. What is the value of under root a by b if log of blah 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 some value is given to you, right? So guys, even before we start solving this particular problem, let me show you our newly launched Prep Insta Prime. So on Prep Insta Prime, guys, we have the complete course on Goldman, right? Whatever you need, competitive coding to any section that you need for Goldman is already a part of Prep Insta Prime. Apart from that, you get all the popular skills that you need, all the popular languages, all the coding, basic, intermediate, aptitude courses, platform-based courses, company-specific courses, product-based companies as well, which includes Goldman already over here. Interview preparation, projects, computer science subjects, additional coding brush ups, interview experiences. You get certificates for all the skills that you complete from Prep Insta. You can get multiple certificates from Prep Insta, and apart from that, you also get TCS Ion remote internship certificate as well, right? So everything that you need for placements under one single roof. And guys, obviously everything is already updated for our Goldman syllabus. So here you can see aptitude round 1, round 2, which is numerical computation and reasoning, already a part of it. Reasoning is already a part, verbal ability, computer science, subjective, coding ability, everything is already a part of our Prep Insta Prime. So you buy one single Prep Insta Prime subscription, you get access to Goldman Sachs course. Apart from that, 100 plus other company specific, platform specific and skill based courses included under one single roof, right? And the prices are very very low currently, and that would be increased very very soon. So 3 months it's 2499, 6 months is 3499, 12 months it's 4499, and then we also have courses for 18 months, 24 months, 36 months and 48 months. So guys, the link is available in the description of the video. Make sure you go and check that out once for sure, right? Now moving back to the question. So guys, how many of you are aware of logarithms and how many of you are comfortable solving logarithms? Okay, so before we start this question, let me tell you two important formulas that we will be using here. The first one is whole square can be written as 2 log yx. I hope you guys are aware of this. The second one is log of something to the base same something is always 1. I think these are the two formulas. Apart from that, another one that we'll be using is log of a b plus log of a c can be written as log of a. B and c can be multiplied, so log of b c. So a quick revision, right? I cannot cover everything here. We have done definitely that in our prime courses, right? So these are the three formulas that we'll be generally using in solving this particular question. The question is, yes? Okay. So let us come to this part first, guys. What I'm doing here first is I'm writing it as log of 4 whole square. Can I do that? Yes, I can do that using this particular formula. If this is 2 log xy, so this 2 can shift here as a square. So that is what I have done here. Plus. Do you agree to this as well? Second formula. Log of something to the base same something is 1. So if 1 is written, I can write it as log of 4 to the base 4. Now, I'll use this third formula here now. So I can write it as log 4 under root a minus under root b whole square into 4. Yes. So guys, now I can eliminate this and this, right? Okay. Again, using the first formula, again, can I shift this here? Under root a minus under root b whole square, that is a plus b minus 2 under root of ab. 4. This again would be 1, guys. Yes. So this gives me 4a minus b is equal to 4a plus 4b, this is b, looks like 6, minus 8 under root a b. 4a. So 4a gone, right? Now 4b plus b is 5b. 5b is equal to 8 under root ab. Yes, that's done. So I can write it as 5b divided by b is equal to 8 under root ab divided by b. I've divided by b on both the sides. So this would be this. So 5, I'm shifting this 8 here. So 5 by 8 would be equal to b under root b divided by b is basically under root a by under root b, which is under root of a by b, which is what we are supposed to answer, which is nothing but 5 by 8. Got that? Okay. Moving on to the next question, which says, according to a recent survey report issued by Commerce Ministry, Government of India, Commerce Ministry, Government of India, 30% of the total FDI goes to Gujarat and 20% of this goes to rural areas. If the FDI in Gujarat, which goes to urban areas, is rupees 72 million, then find the size of FDI in rural Andhra Pradesh, which attracts 50% of the FDI that comes to Andhra Pradesh, which accounts for 20% of the total FDI. Not a very tough question, but the language is a little confusing. You can pause the video here, guys, and start solving this on your own. Okay. So according to the survey report issued by Commerce Ministry, Government of India, 30% of the FDI goes to Gujarat. So let us say the total is 100%. So Gujarat gets 30%. Of this 30%, 20% of this goes to rural areas. So 80%, the remaining would go to what? The urban areas. Yes? Clear till here? Okay. If the FDI in Gujarat, which goes to urban areas, is rupees 72 million. This is actually 72 million. If, guys, 80% is 72 million, what would be 20%? Divided by 4. So this would be 18 million. Right? Okay. So I think for Gujarat, we are done here. So let us do some calculations. We got that total, out of total FDI, 30% is going to Gujarat, which is equal to, what is 30%? 18 million plus 72 million. Gujarat gets 30%, which is basically, we got to know that in urban, of that 30%, 72 million and 18 million in rural and urban area. So total 30% is 70 million, which means that 30% of the total FDI is 70 million. Right? So what is 100%? I'm talking about this 100% now. 30% is 70, so what would be 100%? Sorry, 90, my bad, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. So 300 million. 100% is 300 million. So now, then find the size of FDI in rural Andhra Pradesh, which attracts 50% of the FDI that comes to Andhra Pradesh, which accounts to 20% of the total FDI. So out of this 100%, 20% comes to Andhra Pradesh. So that means how much is coming to Andhra Pradesh, guys? 20% of 300 million is 60 million. Out of this 60 million, 50% of the FDI, so 50% of, then find the size of the rural Andhra Pradesh, which attracts 50% of the total FDI of Andhra Pradesh. So out of this 60 million, 50% is going to rural area, which is what I have to find. So 50% of 60 million is what, guys? 30 million. I hope you got this right. We calculated 100 Gujarat, and then Gujarat we got to know that 20% is rural, remaining is urban, and which is 72 million. So we calculated the total from here. So we calculated the total to be 300 million. Now it says that Andhra Pradesh gets 20% of the total FDI. So 20% of 300 million is 60 million, and of which 50% goes to the rural area, which is what we have to find. So 50% of 60 million is 30 million. Okay. Moving on to another question, which says, in the famous Harrods Museum, the value of each of a set of gold coin varies as the square of its diameter if its thickness remains constant, and it varies as the thickness if the diameter remains constant. If the diameters of the two coins are in the ratio 4:3, what should be the ratio of their thickness if the value of the first is 4 times that of the second? A little interesting question. Give it a try, guys. Pause the video and then definitely I'll help you solving this out. Okay. So in the famous Harrods Museum, the value of each set of gold coin varies as the value, right? The value varies as the square of the diameter. Let's say diameter is d, so square of the diameter if the thickness is constant. Right? And it varies as the thickness if the diameter remains constant. So value is a function of d square and t. Can I write v is also proportional to t into d square? The overall value would be dependent on the thickness and the diameter. So I can say value is proportional to thickness into diameter whole square. So we are comparing two coins here, right? Let's say V1 and V2. So what is V1 by V2? V1 would be T1 into D1 whole square, and V2 would be T2 into D2 whole square. It is given that the ratio of their thickness be if the value of the first is 4 times the second. So value of first is 4 times the second. So if value for first is 4, so second is 1. Whole square. If the diameters of the two coins are in the ratio 4:3, so it is also given to us. So 4 is equal to T1 by T2. Diameter is 4/3 whole square. So can I write from here T1 by T2 is equal to 4 into 3 square by 4 square. 4 and square gone, which is actually 9 by 4. So the ratio of T1 is to T2. That is what you are supposed to answer, right? What should be the ratio of their thickness? The ratio of their thickness should be 9:4. That is what your answer is. Okay. Coming to a very interesting question from calendars, and I have a very interesting trick for you guys. Right. So first of all, guys, I would suggest you guys to pause the video here and start solving this on your own. You have to find on which day was Sachin Tendulkar born. If his date of birth is April 24, 1973. You guys can pause the video and start solving this on your own. Okay, guys. So how generally people would solve this particular question is, you are supposed to find the day on April 24th, 1973, right? So people would calculate till 1600, there are 0 leap years, and then they'll calculate for 300 years, then they'll calculate for 72 years, and then they'll calculate for January, February, March, and then they'll calculate for 24 days in April, and they'll take at least 15-20 minutes to solve this particular problem. Mine is pretty simple, guys. You just need to remember this. This is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. This is the code, month code. So when you are given the year 19, so this is actually the formula that we'll be using is anything above the year 1900, right? The formula is right. What is D? Day. D is for day. So 24, right? What is the month? April. So 4? No. This month goes according to this particular table, this particular code. April. For April, the code is 6. Which is this year? So as I said, this formula is applicable for years which are above 1900. So the year is 1973. So you just subtract whatever the year above 1900 is given to you. Just subtract 1900 from it. 73. So the year is 73. Talking about leap year. So 73, right? Just see how many leap years are there. So divided by 4, right? So we know that 18 4s are 72, right? So 18, yes, divided by 7. So how many, what is the remainder here? So you actually have to find the remainder. 24 plus 6 is 30, 103 plus 18 is 121. 121 by 7. What is the remainder when 121 is divided by 7, guys? The remainder is 2, right? 2. So when 2 is the remainder, what is the day? So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right? 7 cannot be the remainder when we are dividing things by 7, right? So Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday is 2, right? So that means if the remainder is 2, the day is nothing but Tuesday. Interesting trick, very quick. If the year is given to you as, let's say, 2001, same formula, just subtract 1900 from it. So it would be, this would be 101. And the leap year you can already calculate by dividing it by 4. This is the important thing that you have to mug it up. So guys, such tricks, and there are a lot more such interesting tricks that we already have in our course for Prep Insta Prime. Any course that you see is created with utmost care, and we have taken care of each and every shortcut and short trick that would help you, optimizing the time that you actually need in solving each and every problem in your exam, right? As I've already showed you, the syllabus for Goldman, right, is already updated. Everything that you need for Goldman is already a part of our Prep Insta Prime subscription, so you can definitely go and check that out once for sure. The link for the same is also available in the description of the video. Apart from that, guys, as I said, in Prep Insta Prime, you get all the popular skills, all the popular languages, coding, right? The coding is designed in a way that if you're a mechanical civil student, you can start with basic. If you're an CSIT student, you can start with intermediate coding. And if you think you are actually known to everything and you just need some competitive coding now, so we already have competitive coding. Apart from that, data structures in C++, all the languages. Aptitude courses are already a part, so aptitude, logical, verbal, DI, visual reasoning, crypto, essay writing, game based. So this crypto is a part of Infosys, essay writing is a part of Wipro, game based is a part of Capgemini. So everything is already a part of Prep Insta Prime subscription. Platform based courses, service based courses like TCS Digital, Cognizant, LTI, Deloitte, IBM, Accenture, Infosys, Wipro, everything is a part of Prep Insta Prime subscription. All the product based companies like Microsoft, Goldman, Amazon, Cisco, everything is already included. Interview preparation like GD, HR, Puzzle, Resume, GitHub, Guesstimates, everything is already a part. All the projects are associated with all the skills are already uploaded here so that you can make use of them. All the computer science subjects, pseudo codes, automata fix, everything is already a part of Prep Insta Prime subscription. You get interview experiences, real-time short interview experiences for all the companies that are listed here, right? Apart from this, you also get certifications from Prep Insta for all the skills that you complete on Prep Insta Prime. In addition to that, you also get Prep Insta Nano Degree. Nano Degree certification. In addition to that, you also get TCS Ion Remote Internship certificate. All those under one single roof. And as I've already showed you the prices, let me show it to you again. The prices are very low currently, guys, and would increase very, very soon. So make sure you are going and checking that out immediately. 3 months, it's 2499. 6 months is 3499. 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, 36 months, 48 months subscription for all these tenures are available. You can definitely get the one which you think would be the best for you, right? Apart from that, guys, last but not the least, top 3 commenters on this video can get free access to the Prep Insta Prime that I've showed you already. So make sure you keep commenting. Apart from that, a lot of other companies would be active very soon and will post all such updates on our social media handles. So make sure you're a part of all our social media handles. Last but not the least, all the links are available in the description of the video. Make sure you go and check that out once. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and click onto the bell icon so that you get notified about all such videos in the future. Thank you so much, guys. It was really nice connecting. So guys, now there's a quick trailer coming up for you, which should give you an idea on to how the courses that I've showed you on Prep Insta Prime looks really, and what are the animations, what are the technologies that we have used while creating the videos. Thank you so much, guys.